before Fort Orange is constructed. It's constructed the same time a fort on Governor's Island is constructed. The Governor's Island fort was not as large as this one, but there were two strongholds in the New World built by the Dutch. This is 3 years after the West India Company is formed. It took the West India Company much longer to raise capital to start sending colonists and ships over here because the war had been resumed with Spain. Bergen op Zoom was under siege. It depressed people from investing money in this new company. So they got off to a slow start. And also, all eyes were on Brazil at this time. Brazil was where the money was being made. The Dutch occupied Salvador in Brazil, started bringing sugar back to Europe. Sugar mills sprouted up all through Amsterdam to refine sugar. 90% of the resources of the West India Company went south. The ships, manpower, talent went down to Brazil until 1654 when Brazil was lost to the Portuguese.
This is a painting that I did quite a few years ago, and it depicts Fort Orange in the 1630s. But this painting also marked the first collaboration between Charlie and I. We were both just boys then. And
Maybe you were.
oh, that's right. We were like the older brother.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it was a fascinating project because I had been doing a little bit of historical painting, and I had heard about Fort Orange, and I wanted to know more about it. And when I found out that it had never been depicted before, it piqued my curiosity, and I started learning as much as I could about it, and working with people like Charlie and Paul Huey, an archaeologist, and trying to figure out what it could have been, what it might have looked like. Now that was almost 25 years ago that I worked on that. And this fort, and now I guess Fort Amsterdam, I've become obsessed about it. I've painted this fort about 6 times, and I have never painted it the same way twice, because every time I approach this project, I learn a little bit more about it. Generally, what I still believe is that this wooden look of the curtain wall of the fort was definitely there, that it had a moat around it. There were buildings inside of it. We know from the records from 1630 that there was a ship built here called the Omval. And if any of you have seen the Onrust, which is a replica of the vessel that was built for Bloch when he was stranded here in Manhattan, the Omval and the Onrust are both Dutch yachts. And the replica that is sailing on the Hudson is very similar to this boat.
How do you spell that one there?
Omval.
Omval.
See? How do you spell it?
Omwael or Aal. Omval.